Hello everyone, it's myself, Rory Paddock. It is picksfromthepaddock.co.uk. It's Wednesday, it's the 12th of August, and it's time for today's tips. Yeah, it is Wednesday afternoon, it is midday, a little bit late. I apologise, we had a few technical issues with the stream we tried to do earlier. We're doing this fresh from the beginning again. And they're just the two horses that I like the look of today, both on the all-weather, one at Kempton, one at Wolverhampton. The first one comes in the last race at Kempton. It's the 5:25. It's an amateur riders race. Now, in any of these races, you look out for the riders that you know have perhaps the experience, have the riding ability and the credentials, because they can, and perhaps this is a bit unkind, but there can be a vast difference in ability when it comes to these races. That being said, that's led me to go for a jockey that, in all honesty, could have been a professional. A lot of people that have much better knowledge than I do of the sport have said so. And the rider in question has been doing this for many, many years. Simon Walker knows how to get a horse around. Not only knows how to get a horse around, but knows how to get a horse's head in front. And I think that's massive in races like this. He jumps aboard the Amanda Perrott trained Double Legend. It's a course and distance winner who's been pretty poor in the last 3 or 4 outings. However, with that in mind, it's now dropped to a very, very likeable handicap mark. Looks weighted to go close. And if you can get 5-1, I think its best price is actually 6-1 at the moment. If you can get an each way price of 5-1 or bigger, I think it's an absolute cracking bet for it to finish in the first 3. So each way selection in the 5:25 at Kempton, that's Double Legend. And also in another last race on a card, in the last race at Wolverhampton, I think it's the 8:10, I like the Ruth Carr trained Tricorn. It's been really, really disappointing on the turf so far this year, and has showed limited and very little ability in, well, not necessarily ability, but just it's not shown much. It's not been shown its best. It's a course winner here at Wolverhampton. I think it has a 50% strike rate actually at the course. So a return to the all-weather is an absolute massive plus. It's weighted nicely. So in terms of a handicap mark, that's a positive. And also, don't be put off by the fact that Ruth Carr's yard are far from flying at the moment. Don't think she's had a winner in the last fortnight, and I think over 20 horses that she's had out. Ruth Carr is one of those yards and one of those trainers who can spring a shock. Her horses can be going really poorly, and then all of a sudden she'll have 2, 3, 4 all land within a couple of days of one another. So don't let that put you off. Obviously, more than capable jockey on board. So that's in the 8:10 at Wolverhampton, Tricorn. Those are my two for today. I'd advise backing them both each way. Another little word before I forget, actually, on Tricorn. It was as big as 33-1 last night, and it's now around 17-2. So obviously attracted plenty of market support as well. Both of the races are very open races, hence why I'm asking you to back them each way. I couldn't be very, very confident of them winning, but I think they're both very solid place chances. Now, away from the all-weather, there are 2 horses that I think are worth a mention at Beverley. I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm going to tip them. I just think both of them deserve a mention, or there's little things that are worth noting. Again, I wouldn't advise that I'm tipping them. I'd say either have a watching brief, keep a close eye on them, especially if there's any market support. And if you were going to play very, very small stakes. As I've said, they are both at Beverley. The first one is a course and distance winner, trained by the aforementioned Ruth Carr, and it's Oriental Splendor. It's a horse that I tipped last time out, and it ended up finishing mid-division. It returns to Beverley, where it's a course and distance winner, off a very good mark again. Last run, it could probably be forgotten. It was a tad unlucky in terms of it didn't have the best run, but it has fantastic form at the course. Like I've mentioned, it's a course and distance winner, and it's on a really attractive handicap mark. As I mentioned earlier, Ruth Carr, the trainer, knows how to get one ready, even if her yard haven't been flying on all cylinders. And then later on the card at Beverley, I find it really, really intriguing that one of the biggest trainers in the north, Mick Appleby, who tends to have a ton of runners all across the country, especially at northern racecourses, especially in handicaps, only has the one horse out at Beverley today. Now, I'd imagine, and from past knowledge, that Mick Appleby would farm horses out, especially considering we've had months off with lockdown. So the fact that he only has the one runner is really intriguing. Now, that horse runs later on the card. Can't remember what time these races are for these two at Beverley, so have a little quick look through the cards. But the horse is by the name of Air Show. It's not far above its last winning mark. It's been running okay of late. It's finished in the top 3 here at Beverley when it's raced here previously. And at 25-1, considering it's Appleby's only runner on the entire card, I just think at that price, it's worth a mention. Again, I wouldn't necessarily say those two are tips, but Oriental Splendor and Air Show as very, very small plays if you were going to have a bet or even watching briefs at Beverley this afternoon. But before I go, I'll just run through the two that I like the look of. It's Double Legend in the 5:25 at Kempton, Tricorn in the 8 at Wolverhampton, both each way selections. As always, any likes, shares, comments, very much appreciated. You've been watching Rory Paddock for picksfromthepaddock.co.uk, and if you do follow, good luck.